Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Participation Trophy. This is episode 2. I am Trevor. I am joined by my co-host Thomas. We got Jack from Oscar Film Forecast. Sam is here. We lost Anthony. Anthony should be back next week, but he has a life, unfortunately. So he could not be here today. Everybody was on time for the most part, though.
Yeah.
We only started like 10 minutes after we said, which is pretty good. That's pretty good, guys. I'm happy.
Yep. I'm sure it will get worse as time goes on.
It'll get worse as time goes on.
We'll get to episode 10 and it will be, the next day that we're doing it.
But yeah. And it would just be Sam and I. But you know, well, like enjoy this while you have it, because the podcast will get progressively worse.
That's a good advertisement for getting people on board.
Yeah,
it will get worse. We guarantee
it will get worse. But that means that they're watching the good ones right now.
There you go. I suppose.
So
sure.
But anyways, I'm doing something very fun tonight.
Ooh.
I get to watch Mulholland Drive in a theater, and I am very, very, very excited.
That's awesome. I want to see if when I go back home next week I can do the same, because I have been due for a rewatch for basically my whole life at this point. It's feeling like, and I know I'm gonna like it a lot. I literally don't remember anything besides just some images of it. But yeah, it'll basically be a first watch, and it's his most acclaimed and famous.
Best for me.
Yeah, puzzling as well. So definitely one that is warranting, perhaps more than any other Lynch rewatch. Yes, I also do need to probably at some point get on that.
Yes, I got
plenty of Lynch. I also
sitting up here somewhere.
So maybe need to, get to them first. But yeah, at some point.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like a top 10, if not top 5 director of all time. I think just also like, regardless of how you feel about his films, his influence on like American filmmaking in general, I think is unparalleled, especially American TV. I mean, we would not have the contemporary landscape of like, interconnecting TV and high concept TV and stuff without him. And, when you say like somebody would have done it eventually, but Lynch was the pioneer. So like one of the most influential, like I think American artists in general of the 21st century. So very, very excited to see his work on the big screen for the first time. Going and seeing it with one of my friends who's actually never seen it before, so it'll be a first viewing for them. Which, like, what a way to watch Mulholland Drive for the first time in the theater. So very, very excited about that. I also just unfortunately watched Invictus.
Okay, good. I'm sure you loved it.
Yeah, absolutely loved. No, it was for my screenwriting class, which I started. I'm back at college now. We've moved back. Jack, were you back in LA for last episode?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But we're back now. You guys can judge the syllabus. Let me pull it.
Am I the only one who's seen Invictus besides Trevor?
I have not. Yeah.
I have not. Yeah. Not.
It's 2 hours 15. It's both Jack and
objectively the worst length a movie can be is like 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes is the worst length a movie can be. I mean, it's just awful. Commit to being long if you're gonna be long. Don't be this weird in between where it feels longer than it is. They could always be shorter. Always.
Movies should be under an hour 40 or like 2:45 or longer. Anything in between, if you're like an hour 40 to 2 hours 40, then it's bad.
Well, I'm not
anything.
It's a hyperbolic statement, and I understand.
It is hyperbolic.
Yes.
I just if you're between that time frame and maybe like hour 50 to 240, like anything in there, it will immediately like just snap reaction to the runtime get me less excited than more excited to see the film. Now, if you are committing to being long, like 250 plus, 245 plus, or you're just like a tight under hour 40 film, I am going to be more excited to see it.
Me too.
But just that in between period is weird. Is Jack here?
His Wi-Fi seems to be
For once,
Yeah.
it's not
I
me
hear
with the connection problems.
For once, it
What's
isn't
wrong?
Sam. You're moving at approximately a frame a second, and that's being
Oh,
generous.
wow, that's awesome. Should I
And
leave
your
and come
audio
back?
is muffled. Yeah, I'd leave and come back. I'd leave and come
Wow,
back.
okay.
We've lost a soldier. But yeah, I know Thomas. You'd probably give Invictus like a 6 or something and say that it was a fun
Yeah.
time.
I don't
Probably.
no, I don't think so because Thomas and I like the same kind of Oscar bait movies. That one just isn't fun. Like The Blind Side is fun. Green Book is fun. Like they're funny.
Yeah, but this
they're
man liked Rob Peace.
What the
Like
hell
I
is
really
that?
like Rob Peace is great. That was a Sundance Chitwell Ledgerfor, I think, directed it and starred in it. It was one of
Yeah.
those ones where it's a lifetime movie kind of thing.
Okay.
It worked. It was good. It was one of the better ones at Sundance.
Okay.
Maybe it was watched in a day's state after it was like the third film of the day, but it was the only one really that connected with me that day. I seem to
did
remember.
that ever come out? Also, if you
I
see Jack, bring him in.
yeah, could well have done probably.
Oh, it's
I
on
think so.
Netflix now.
I
It's
do
on
Oh, there you
like
go.
I
So
am
everyone can watch
generally
it.
a Clint Eastwood fan though, which I know is a bit divisive, but I do like
I'm
his
He's on the
not.
movies.
Baby, Mystic River. That's a good pair of releases back to back there, you know? Yeah, I'd agree.
I like him, but his older stuff more. I like The Bridges of Madison County the most, even though it's like the least Clint Eastwood-y of any of his movies, but it's beautiful. And then his 2 Best Picture winners are great, especially Unforgiven, so good. And then obviously all those westerns he starred in the 60s and 70s are classics. But some of those
Yeah.
middling dramas, not great.
He's just made. I don't know. I don't think that he's like a bad filmmaker by any means. He's just made a lot of movies, and there's definitely more misses than hits for me in his.
Did people
in his
watch Juror
filmography.
number 2? And if
I
so,
liked it.
wasn't it? Okay, interesting. I didn't love it. I didn't think it really had the tension that it kind of wanted to create.
I thought it worked as a TV movie.
Um,
But also, I'm really into Nicholas Hoult. Like, I think he's so attractive. I have such a fixation on him, and he's distractingly beautiful in
heard.
that movie.
even in Nosferatu, really? Okay.
Well, not in Nosferatu. That was why I
The
think that
menu?
might have been why I didn't like Nosferatu, because
Maybe.
I didn't think he was cute.
No. More.
Fair.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Speaking of Nosferatu, someone sent me this picture of who I thought was Nosferatu, but it wasn't. It was actually Demi Moore, and, and they just put a mustache on
Ooh.
Demi Moore, and it looks like Nosferatu.
Oh
And
my
it's actually
god.
really accurate.
Yeah. Oh, Jack. is back on, by the way.
Nosferatu, I guess you could say.
Am I
Yeah, you're better
Yes,
now. You're better,
better.
okay? Good.
now. Yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, the other
We're
day,
gonna judge
one of
your
my
syllabus.
yes, I can say though on Nosferatu, one of my friends here, whenever he gets like too drunk and ends up hunched over a trash can, he looks, and this was pointed out the other night, he looks identical to the 1920s Nosferatu, like even down to like his hand placement and everything. And someone, I'm not gonna show it, but someone took a picture of him and then put it side by side with the 1920s Nosferatu, just like looking like this, and it is scary how similar they look. Anyways, just thought of that. We're gonna look at my syllabus and we're gonna judge it for our screenwriting class. So I'll tell you what we're learning.
Hopefully, your professor doesn't find this.
I don't care. So okay, so for classical design and modern 3x structure, we're doing Invictus.
Okay. I mean,
Which sure, there's surely better options, but whatever. For character and dialogue, Lady Bird and Black Swan.
Ooh.
That's
those are
good.
good. Those are good choices. Yeah, I like those.
I will say all of these are fairly modern, I think, just to like draw people in, because this is it's technically an English class, not
Right.
a film class. So I think it trying to be appealing to all people and not go for like very heady film stuff.
Yeah.
For visual storytelling, though, we've got The Zone of Interest.
Oh, great. Good choice.
Good shout
Obviously.
there. And then we're doing a 2-week section on television where we're watching the first season of White Lotus.
The best. The best.
So then on tone, we're doing Where the Wild Things Are.
Okay.
On minimalism, we got Captain Fantastic and 20th Century Women.
I really like both of those
Solid
movies.
shouts. I do too. I especially 20th Century Women. I adore that film. And Coin Scottsy's in that movie.
It is. I remember.
Then anti-plot, whatever that's supposed to be, is Barbie.
Okay. I mean,
Interesting.
good
I don't know
film.
what
I don't
that
really.
is. Yeah.
Sure.
Good movie, but
week of learning that one.
Biopic, he went with Straight Outta Compton, which is actually an interesting
Good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that.
Then sci-fi, we got The Martian, which could be better, but
do you do a week in all the genres, or is just sci-fi the one?
No, that's just it. And then we have animated film, and he went with Spirited Away, which can't really complain there.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I was expecting.
It's
you started
very
with Invictus, and I expected it to.
Yeah,
level,
Invictus scared me when I scrolled down. I was like, oh god. But it's very contemporary. It's very modern.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. I really don't hate it.
I'm also doing Spirited Away I'm in an American studies class, and it's called Planet Hollywood, and we watch a lot of foreign movies to talk about their influence on Hollywood. And the last movie we watch is Spirited Away. It's actually the newest one that we see. So it's kind of the opposite of yours, Trevor.
Yeah, where that's the oldest one, I think.
Yeah.
They're going back to, but yeah. No. So I think it'll be a fun class. It's watching the films, and then it's a lot of classroom discussion, and then you're writing your own screenplays based off of what we're learning each week based off each of these things. And then we do table reads, which will be fun. So no, I think it'll be fun. But what have you guys been up to? Watching, doing anything interesting?
Studying.
Yeah, a lot of studying, to be honest. I am now part of the World Cinema Society here, so there is every week there is a different film. So I've watched last week it was Diamonds of the Night, which is considered a seminal work in sort of Holocaust movies. That was for Holocaust Memorial Week, which was a very interesting, and you can really tell the influence that it has had even on things like Zone of Interest. It came out much later, but this idea that you don't necessarily have to show the horrors, you don't have to show the iconography to still get the feelings across. And then last week we watched a film called The Cow. It's an Iranian 1969. Again, this was one that clearly has influenced people like Panahi, Farhadi. Those kind, and it came before them. Very bizarre. The central premise is that this man loses his cow, or his cow gets killed. And he really loves this cow. And then he goes through this grief-like state where he starts to physically embody the cow. And you don't know if it's meant to be funny. It was got a slightly muted reaction. I don't know. People didn't know whether to laugh or not. And it was very interesting in that regard. Just bizarre in every sense of the word. Very.
This sounds fascinating. I
reckon you would love it.
Yeah, it's giving Night Bitch, but probably good.
Because he doesn't actually start. Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of thing where he just starts. Yeah.
Have any of you seen Alhazard Balthazar?
I have.
No.
Okay, so this reminds me of that. That it's a 1956, I think. I don't know.
Was it that early? I thought it was a bit later.
66, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 60s for sure.
It's one of my favorite movies, though. It's a classic. It's very acclaimed.
It's excellent.
Movies about animals are usually good.
Yeah, it was Bristol. I mean, I think a recent film that took a lot of inspiration from Balthazar is EO.
Yeah, I mean, it literally is the same movie.
It's basically just the same film. But EO is absolutely fantastic. Love that movie. So yeah, no, that sounds fascinating. The Cow. I've just added it to my watch list. So
I would. Yeah. But that's what I've been really watching. And then I watched The Wild Robot as well. And, because it's maybe going to win the Oscar. And it was good. I enjoyed it. I think it is better than Flow. I'd rather see it win than Flow. I think it is still,
That's
though.
a crazy thing.
That's a bad. What?
Thomas thinks that Flow is the worst of the nominees.
I do, easily.
Inside Out 2?
It's a crazy take.
Flow is the best.
Yeah.
Flow, yeah.
I am in the minority, but I've explained why. It was plotless, and I'm not an animal person in general, so I didn't feel for anything going on. It was pretty animation, sure, I suppose, but the Wild Robot had more heart. Wallace and Gromit had more fun.
Wallace and Gromit I can get behind because my beloved, but
what's everybody's ranking? And I think we'll do a video about this.
I still haven't seen Snail. Maybe that'll be number one.
That is my favorite.
That's my number one.
But
really easy.
From the four, it's Flow, then Wallace and Gromit, then Inside Out, then The Wild Robot.
Oh. So mine is the same order, just with Memoir of a Snail tacked on the front. Right. It's Memoir of a Snail, Flow, Wallace and Gromit, Inside Out, Wild Robot.
Okay. I think I'm Flow, Wild Robot, Wallace and Gromit, Inside Out 2.
What, you people really don't like Inside Out 2?
It's fun. It's fun, but I think just Gromit, Flow, and Memoir of a Snail are just on kind of another level than Inside Out 2.
Fair enough.
Just functionally.
Disagree.
Sam or Thomas, what was your ranking then?
Memoir, Inside Out 2, Wallace and Gromit, Wild Robot, Flow.
That's crazy.
It's a wild ranking.
That's not
like
that
my
wild. Yeah, it is actually like your Switch. Yeah,
I just love anything Wallace and Gromit is just gonna please me. The first movie is my favorite winner in the category, probably like number one, or besides Ratatouille, it's those two. And fun fact, that movie at the BAFTAs, it probably won more, but it won obviously Best Animated Film, but it won Best British Film. It beat Pride and Prejudice and The Constant Gardener, which is amazing and hilarious.
There you go. Yeah,
and it deserved it. It's better than both of those movies.
I mean, as a British, is anything more British than Wallace and Gromit?
Well, didn't the film? I remember there was a bit of a controversy because American producers thought it was going to be too British even for American audiences. They had to de-Britishify it a little bit. I remember that being a thing. But no, it's a national institution, and because the sequel was aired on Christmas Day, like it just aired on TV on BBC, and I think pulled in maybe the second highest viewing figures of any TV that in the year. Yeah, and then the one that came just after it, the Gavin and Stacey reunited, British sitcom, that got the most. So yeah, that's a good sign for Wallace and Gromit and the future of the company. Yeah, second highest viewing figures of the year.
Have we all seen Chicken Run too? The original.
The first one,
I have not.
Of course,
I have not.
Okay, so Chicken Run is another interesting one where that movie came out the year before the animated feature Oscar was an official category, and they did a whole thing pushing that movie as Best Picture. So if you look at the precursors, that movie was nominated for Best Picture at the Golden Globes. I think it made it in the Critics' Choice top 10, and it won every critics group for animated film. Like if the category existed, it would have been an animated feature, and obviously it wasn't successful, but that was like why they made the category. And then the next year, Shrek, which won, was nominated for Best Picture at literally every major precursor. It even got into Best Film.
Supporting actor. It also got supporting actor for Eddie Murphy at the BAFTAs,
which is amazing, and he should have been nominated at the Oscars.
Do you think we will ever see that at the Oscars?
No.
I don't.
No way.
What about a mocap performance? Do you think we'll ever see that?
No.
I could see a world.
Guys, we already have Wicked nominated for acting awards. Like, what more do we need?
Like, because it's I get not doing voice performances, and I don't think that they will ever do a category for that. And I don't think you need to. really, but I don't know. I could see mocap happening potentially. I think it would just take
get it. Avatar than Emilia Perez.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Sure.
If you want.
I really don't think that subsequent Avatar films are gonna do much at the Oscars. I think we're just gonna keep seeing diminishing returns.
Keep denying it all you want, but
another $2 billion.
But they are gonna be incredible and undeniable, and I'm ready to. I'm excited. Of course, it's my most anticipated movie of the year by so much. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be there multiple times opening weekend. All my AMC stubs are going to that. Cannot wait. James Cameron, you are a god and the best filmmaker working today. And
whoa,
yes,
whoa,
and I think it's gonna get Oscar nominations if it has the same level of acclaim, because it's.
I didn't get Oscar nominations. I just don't like directors never happening again. I don't.
Yeah,
think,
when are they gonna stop picture?
Keep saying
the
it.
Question.
And
yeah, the question is just whenever picture is gonna happen. Well, it already missed out on director last time. Like
we don't need to talk about that.
Seeing less and less. We're just gonna keep seeing less and less nominations. The question is just when picture drops.
It's going to be less and less novel each time. Like, yes, I know they're bringing in fire things. I think this one, but I don't know.
Ooh.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is actually everybody's most anticipated for this year, and then
Avatar?
Avatar.
Is it okay? Other most is that this year?
After the Hunt would be my other one, I think.
After the Hunt, is that the Guadagnino?
Yeah.
Honestly, Sorry Baby looks really good.
It's so good.
It is. It really is.
It's actually fantastic. Like I would be surprised if it didn't end up in my top 10.
I'm trying to think. What is my?
At least. I mean, obviously very excited about Mickey 17. I don't know if it's
that is the most anticipated in the near future, definitely.
I mean, yeah, in the moment, certainly.
Is The Way of the Wind?
Oh, is that the Malick movie?
Yeah, that might, because that was meant to come out this. I think that's one of those ones that's been meant to come out for about 3 years.
Well, it's
for like 5 years.
Terrence Malick is not the best at making movies at a quick pace.
Yeah. He takes like 10 years to edit everything, which, like, fair enough when you make movies like that. Like, I'm not complaining. But yeah, I have no clue when that thing is ever gonna come out. I am excited about the new David Lowery.
Machine.
Oh,
the
really?
Smashing Machine's one I'm really. Yeah, Safdie Brothers Uncut Gems, one of my favorite films of that year. I'm excited to see Dwayne Johnson do something different. Like, he's been hired for a reason. I feel there must be something to it. I'm thinking so. Yeah, there's gonna be a fight to me. Yeah, that's definitely one that is up there.
Mother Mary looks fascinating to me. It's the new David Lowery film, who've of course done like The Green Knight and The Ghost Story, and it's described an epic pop melodrama following a fictional musician and her relationship with an iconic fashion designer. And the cast is Anne Hathaway, Michaela Cole, Hunter Schafer, FKA Twigs, and Kaya Gerber. That sounds fascinating to me. I'm quite excited. What else? I mean, there's of course like the new Ari Aster and new Yorgos, Eddington and Begonia. There's a new Celine song, Materialists, with Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, Pedro Pascal.
Oh, there's a gay romance movie starring Josh O'Connor and Paul Mescal coming out this year.
The History of Sound.
Yeah, and I read the short story for it.
It's directed by the guy who did Living, which is interesting.
Right.
Hamnet, of course, Chloe Zhao's
very
feature, based on very acclaimed work.
I have the book over there.
Book. Yeah,
I have. It's really good.
I've read other Maggie O'Farrell stuff and really loved her work. So be interesting to see how that transitions on. It is
Jessie Buckley, Paul Mescal, Chloe Zhao.
Yeah,
I'm pretty positive.
Yeah.
No, very hyped about that one. I know. Yeah, After the Hunt has been brought up. I'm very excited for the new Greg Araki film, I Want Your Sex.
Yes.
And the cast is Olivia Wilde, Cooper Hoffman, and Charlie XCX. Sure. Okay. Okay, Greg Araki. I mean, it's just gonna be his first film in like a decade.
Greg Araki is the best.
We got a new Kelly Reichardt coming out, starring Josh O'Connor, Alana Haim, and John Magaro. Okay,
that is a very you-coded. That is going to be perfect for you.
I mean, Kelly Reichardt for me, might be my favorite filmmaker working today. I know you just said James Cameron. For me, it's Kelly.
Very similar directors.
Yeah, very similar. Very bombastic and in their visions.
Yeah. But no, it's about like an art heist during the Vietnam War, and like by like women's liberation movements. I don't know. It sounds bigger, but knowing Kelly Reichardt, that's gonna be very understated. I mean, remember like First Cow, that was like, sort of higher concept historical film, and it was very understated and slow. And I'm hoping for more of the same because I love everything about Kelly Reichardt. And again, that cast: Josh O'Connor, Alana Haim, John Magaro. Yes, fucking please. So very excited about that one. Oh, I am fascinated about what's gonna happen with Highest to Lowest.
Have
you guys heard about this? This is the Spike Lee. It's the Spike Lee reinterpretation of Kurosawa's High and Low, starring Denzel Washington, Ice Spice, ASAP Rocky, and Jeffrey Wright.
I don't think it's going to be very good. I'm not.
Ice Spice.
Yeah.
Ice Spice doing Kurosawa opposite Denzel Washington by way of Spike Lee. Excuse me?
Yeah. We're going to have another year of pop star movies because we had 2022 was big for that. Amsterdam was with Taylor Swift, and then Don't Worry Darling, Harry Styles making his stuff. So yeah, Charlie XCX and Ice Spice this year. Interesting.
And Ariana Grande.
And Ariana
with Wicked too.
Of course, yes, I suppose.
With Wicked too, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we have both Frankenstein movies. Because we have Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein and then Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, which seems fascinating. The Bride seems really interesting because it's taking place in the 30s and it's like in Chicago, which seems really interesting.
Just test screened that here like last week.
Did they? Did you hear anything about it?
No, I got invited to it, but I didn't go.
Damn.
Well, not invited.
Why not, Jack?
Then because it was at an inconvenient time.
Oh.
We also have the. You should have. We also have the other Safdie movie, by the other brother, Josh, Marty Supreme, which is a film that takes place in 1950s ping pong world, starring Timothée Chalamet and Tyler the Creator. Tyler Creator. Which I mean, love Tyler. Don't know about his acting ability, but yeah, I mean, interesting casting choices from the Safdies with The Rock and Tyler.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
For sure.
I'm looking forward to this year in film, though. I think there's much we
seems to be shaping out because there's also
we have the new PGA as well.
One
I was just about to say,
mention, but yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a good year.
It's all going to culminate in Avatar breaking more records.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Getting Best Picture.
Yeah.
Winning this time.
Winning best.
Maybe.
Or TikTok edits.
Yep. No, that's what I'm really looking forward to, the TikTok edits this year. Not just TikTok edits.
I want nothing more, nothing more than for Kelly Reichardt to get her first Oscar nomination this year. Please. I need either her or Celine Sciamma because those are my two favorites working right now. Both of them have already deserved an Oscar nomination. And I would love for them to break through finally.
I feel like Kelly will at some point.
I mean, Celine should surely be nominated for international feature at some point, right?
None of her movies have ever been nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, none of her literally none of her films have ever even been nominated. If Portrait of a Lady on Fire was submitted, it wouldn't have won, obviously.
Because that stupid Les Mis movie that right. I swear I saw that movie get nominated for international awards for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Apparently
and I never saw it.
apparently it was a decent film, and it's like, you know, obviously it's not Portrait of Lady on
But
Fire.
it will
Not
only
seen
be
it, but
remembered as the film that took the place of
as a
Portrait of
film,
Lady on
yeah,
Fire.
pretty much.
So yeah, I like. But that movie, I mean, for me, obviously, I would have nominated it for like picture, directors, you know, everything. But like not even cinematography. Like, what was even nominated? Because the fact that
The Irishman was nominated for
Right.
cinematography.
Joker,
Yeah.
like, and you couldn't nominate. I mean, Claire Mathon has never been nominated before, which is crazy because she's done like Portrait, she's done Spencer, Atlantic, Petite Maman, like so many deserving films that she's worked on. The fact that she's never been nominated is ridiculous. But yeah, not a single Celine Sciamma film nominated ever is crazy. So I don't know. I like at least international feature, hoping that comes. And I want Kelly Reichardt to have her Sean Baker moment. Which
I mean, what is Kelly Reichardt's most mainstream film? Would we say?
I would say probably Certain Women.
Potentially, yeah.
I can see. Have you guys all seen that?
I've not seen that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
I think I've only seen.
I mean, the cast.
My favorite of the ones
Joy
I've
and
seen
First Gal.
is Wendy and Lucy. That's like, I love that one.
Wendy and Lucy, First Cow, and Certain Women are my three favorites. Certain Women, I think, has the most mainstream cast. Because you have Kristen Stewart, you have Laura Dern, you have Michelle Williams.
I feel like Showing Up might be the most mainstream.
I don't think so.
None of them
think
are.
None of them are.
None of
the
them
thing,
are.
Yeah. So be
Again,
interesting whether she has to do that in order to transition. And
well, I mean, actually, her most mainstream film in concept and execution is probably Night Moves with Jesse Eisenberg from I think 2013, but it's also probably her weakest movie. So like I don't know. I'm curious to see what she does with this, The Mastermind, because it again in concept feels like it could be a bit more mainstream. But and like Night Moves is still a good film. But it lacks a lot of the deft touch of some of her better work. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see where she goes with this one, because it is a bigger cast. I mean, Josh O'Connor, Alana Haim, right? But I would love to see her have the moment. Also, you guys need to watch Certain Women. It's really, really fucking good. Like it is, I think, my favorite of her work. So would very highly recommend. But yeah, we can talk about Sean Baker in a second, because there are things to talk about with him. Yes. But Jack, did you happen to watch anything this week?
I've been watching Severance.
Nice. How's that been?
Severance is good. I still need to watch the most recent episode, which is apparently insane, but the third episode was good. It's already really slow, but this one's like moving very fast, so I like that. That's it. Let me check.
I think with Severance, I might need to actually just rewatch the first series.
Me too.
The recap, I don't know about you, Jack. The recap at the start did not help in any way clear up what happened. All I really remember from it, I'll watch you or something, because the recap they put at the start of this season,
it's not enough. No,
absolutely no idea what happened in most of the series. I just remember loving it, and I remember the ending, which I thought would just transition me to be able to watch Severance easy. But no, I watched the first episode, didn't really understand what's going on, for many to get back into this kind of mindset.
Well, they took 3 years, so
exactly, that was the thing. Yeah, it has been a while since the first series came out. For
sure. But yeah, did I watch anything else? I watched Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, which I can't remember if I talked about last time, but very, very good documentary. The second best of this year's nominees, just behind No Other Land, which still doesn't have distribution, which is fucking crazy. I watched National Anthem. Have any of you guys seen this film?
I've heard of it, but
I've heard of it. Yeah. Really,
really good. Just euphoric indie queer cinema. Portrays like trans relationships, I think, in a really intimate way that doesn't center it around like transness or queerness. Like it's I don't know, it's told in a very kind of naturalistic way, will also allowing itself to still feel very queer. Like it's not ignored, but it feels subtle in the way that it explores them. It's pretty fucking close to making my top 10. I really loved it. And what else did I watch? I watched Ghostlight, which Keith Kupfer, excellent in it. Very good, like indie, American indie fare. Like that one a lot. And then La Casina. Have you guys heard about this one?
No, not at all.
I fucking loved this movie. Cannot recommend enough. It's by Alonso Ruiz Palacios, who is a filmmaker I was not familiar with. It's a lot of it is in Spanish language, but there is Rooney Mara is in the film as one of the lead actresses, and she's coming into like basically this Hispanic restaurant in Times Square, and it's part of like the chaotic kitchen genre basically.
Okay.
But it subverts it in really, really interesting ways. There's this like 10-minute shot in it that's fucking stunning, but like I don't know, it plays on different types of anxieties. It isn't like, it's a very kind of like anxiety inducing film, but not in a more like slow burn way, not in the immediate like The Bear way or like boiling point, like overwhelming you. It's not trying to overwhelm, it's trying to like get up under your skin. But I really fucking loved it. Another one, as I'm working through these indie spirit screeners last couple days before voting, and like there's some gems in here that I've been happy to add to my list. I also made a movie that I put out on this channel if anybody wants to watch.
Yes, there is. It is in the link. It's very good. Very good. It's highly recommended.
Thank you.
Seek that one out.
It's a weird gay queer experimental thing. So watch it if you want to. But yes. Also, only Jack of you has logged it. So I see I only have one real friend here. So.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I will rewatch it and
5-star.
I have two fake friends at the podcast.
I have not been on the app for a while.
Of
so
the
I'll get
11
back onto Letterboxd.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Should we talk about Sean Baker?
Yes. And start, please. I have to use the bathroom, so start the Oscar discussion. I'll be right back.
Okay. So we have our Best Picture winner. We didn't actually do a video on the channel for this. But we just like, it is crazy how halfway through the Critics' Choice Awards, I mean, and you can see this when Thomas and I did our reaction, because we were reading through the next day.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the awards, when it missed screenplay to The Substance, and then Mikey loses, literally up until Best Picture, we're like, okay, Anora's dead.
Yeah. There was one point in the video we literally said, well, Anora can't win Best Picture here. And then it did. Yeah. And then it did. And we were all very happy, and we were praying it would continue in PGA. And then it went further than that.
And then it won fucking DGA.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane. I think that the Brutalist AI thing hurt the film more than people anticipated, which I don't think it's deserving at all. It doesn't fucking matter. But I do think that may have hurt the film just a tiny bit.
The fact he's newer than Sean Baker. I think Sean Baker has a track record that I feel like they might think it's more his time than Corbet, who's kind of just breaking.
Yeah, I think that's also part of it. Like he has a catalog to go back to, which they like in the director's branch. Very rarely do you see a filmmaker get rewarded on their breakthrough or on their debut, which I guess we just kind of all thought, The Brutalist is such a monumental achievement that maybe that, breaks. But I really did.
It won the Globe. Like it managed to win the Globe. That was very big for it. And if it did win Critics' Choice, I think we'd still be having a conversation between Baker and
but the fact that it was two
John Chu.
It was Chu, exactly.
John fucking Chu won Critics' Choice.
Even if Corbet wins a BAFTA, which, you know, that is still very much a possibility. I may even still be predicting that. I think this DGA win suggests that we're going to get a screenplay, director, and picture package for the Lovely.
Yeah,
as much as substance.
Which is the third year in a row. Which is the third year in a row that'll happen for a film. Everything Everywhere, Oppenheimer, and then now I think Anora is just going to sweep picture, director, screenplay.
Well, Oppenheimer.
Or no, I forget. Oppenheimer did lose screenplay. Sorry.
Yeah.
American Fiction, which is still such an interesting win. That
no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's a bit odd. It's a bit odd when you look at the field that was the film that ended up winning.
I think it should have been Poor Things.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Both Oppenheimer and American Fiction I would have put ahead. Zone of Interest was also in the category. So
I would have.
I don't know the Zone of Interest as like an adaptation of the Martin Amis novel. I don't know if I would like award it for the writing. I would award Glazer more, and I think Poor Things as an adaptation is better.
I just think it's quite flawed.
I just think that the Zone of Interest to adapt a source material in that way into this film language was what made it worth
like
it.
And it quite literally transcended language. Zone of Interest. I think as a piece of adaptation, that's like I think that's what we should be awarding in the adapted screenplay category. Like Nickel Boys, which should be winning this year. Agreed. Yep, yes. That should be taking the adapted screenplay Oscar this year. Unfortunately, it will not be. But I do think that it is just doing picture, director, screenplay. Now, I don't think director is a lock, but I just think that the industry love for this film is so overwhelming.
9 of the last.
Lock?
I think it's a lock. Like even if Brady Corbet wins BAFTA, which he probably will. I still think Sean Baker would win the Oscar, which honestly, like, give Anora Best Picture Screenplay. Brady Corbet deserves the directing Oscar.
Brady Corbet deserves the directing Oscar. As much as I love Anora, I love the I mean, well, it should be Ramel Ross or Brady Corbet.
Yes,
but like
Ramel Ross.
Ramel Ross.
Yeah, I would probably go with Ramel Ross personally. But yeah, I think it's very, very odd almost that film's going to win directing. And again, I love Anora, but that film as a director winner feels weird. Like, to me, it makes so much sense as a screenplay winner. It makes sense to me as a Best Picture winner. Director? I don't know.
It's more of a...
I would be voting for Corbett.
Yeah. It's more of a career thing like this. And it's not just like, oh, this is the big Sean Baker. Anora does feel like a culmination, and people have talked about this before, of Baker's work. So it makes sense as that kind of career narrative. And it wouldn't make any sense for Anora to win Best Picture and Screenplay and then have Fish strengthen director, but then go on to not do that. Like, yes, we've seen every award ceremony kind of do their own thing so far. Critics' Choice especially were pretty notorious and just doing their own thing. I think we have now got a consensus, and I messaged you after. It is a shame that we're going to go into Oscars without that sense of.
It was fun having
films could win.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, Anora is my favorite of those 6 that we were talking about at one point in time, and so I am very happy that it will be the eventual winner. It's my, I think, 3rd favorite film of the year, maybe 4th. Nickel Boys, I Saw the TV Glow, then probably those are the 2, but. I'm very glad at this being the Best Picture winner, which it will be. And I can feel confident in saying that now with no caveats. Anora will be our Best Picture winner, which I'm very happy.
Right. I feel similarly. It was fun having the anticipation news. I would have preferred, like, for me, I would have preferred if we didn't know all the way up until the night and then like Anora still won. But, you know, at least we're getting the Anora win. I think it was my 2nd favorite of those 6. Those 6 being Brutalist, Anora, Wicked, Amelia Perez, Conclave, and Complete Unknown, that all were in with a shout. Brutalist and Anora for me are the only two films that I think are acceptable Best Picture winners out of that bunch. So I'm happy with the Anora win. Sean Baker's been one of my favorite filmmakers working over the last decade. I'm very happy that he's having this moment. He could win 4 Oscars, guys, because he also edited the film as well. So if that picks up editing, which, you know, I think it's between that and Wicked, because Wicked has the sound thing.
I still think
sound
Amelia
editing
Perez
ties
might
together.
win editing.
Yeah, me too. In a Bohemian Rhapsody kind of way.
Or honestly, Conclave too. Like,
editing's a very weird conversation. I'm curious to see what wins ACE. But if Anora pulls that off, which it's always possible that editing just coattails along with Best Picture. We've seen that happen before.
That is what I would be presuming would happen, and that's what I was predicting before.
Yeah.
So I won't shake on that, and Anora probably for me will win editing. I mean, yeah, because the Bruce
Sean Baker winning 4 Oscars would be crazy. Sorry, but
it's like
Sean Baker winning like
but well deserved.
Yeah.
He probably should have had 4 Oscars by this point anyway.
You know? Exactly.
Or
exactly.
maybe not him personally, but you know, Simon Rex,
his films,
Rocket, Tangerine. Yeah, exactly. There should have been Oscar wins before for Baker's career. So I'm glad we're getting
them. Yeah, 100%. Where are we at with every race right now? Because also here's the thing: I think that Anora could win SAG Ensemble and WGA and just do a clean sweep. PGA, DGA.
I still think it's going to be Wicked though, just because
I still think it's going to be Wicked.
Yeah,
I would lean Wicked, but it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, because I guess that would be where it would win at SAG.
Right,
yeah.
and with,
but they did
the
Jonathan
so clearly supporting. I know, but like the industry so clearly loves this movie, like even more than we anticipated. So it like I feel like it wins somewhere at SAG. I mean, I don't think a Mikey Madison win at SAG is completely impossible.
I don't either, and I'm scared, but I still think it's going to be Demi Moore.
I just think it's Demi Moore sweet.
I think she's winning.
That
BAFTA.
narrative is too good.
Yeah.
I will, especially with like the makeup and everything. Like
and also the Critics' Choice proved that you can think Anora is your favorite movie and still give it to Demi Moore. So I'm not really worried.
Yeah. And also the old complaints that Mikey Madison is too young is still a factor that will be affecting things. So
it's kind of the same narrative as to why Sean Baker is winning director and not Brady Corbet.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Yeah.
It's rewarding career over, you know, the newcomer. So yeah, I still think Demi Moore. I would still probably predict Demi Moore, and I do still think.
But I don't think I do think this means Torres isn't like, I think Madison might just end up being second by virtue of the movie being strong, and the Torres thing was really a red herring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's coming close to Demi Moore at this point. I don't think so. But the only reason I'm saying like what if SAG is just because it would feel weird if Anora's as strong with it is with the industry and it didn't win anything at SAG. But
to
like
me, it wouldn't just because like Green Book didn't win anything at SAG, Nomadland didn't win anything at SAG. You don't need it.
Sure.
And it's not like, clearly it's not the actors who are voting for this. Like the PGA DGA strength is more indicative than with the actors, and it was very consistent in that it got both the actors everywhere and it didn't miss a beat. But I just think that SAG is gonna throw a Wicked party and give it to Grande and give it to Ensemble.
I think they really could, because especially now that Zoe Saldana is slipping, I still think she could win her category. But SAG will probably go Grande now at this point. I think the BAFTAs will go Saldana. Strength and Critics' Choice is there. I'd still probably be predicting Saldana to win. I don't think she has been affected really by this ripple effect backlash to Amelia Perez. She has managed to stay a little clear and probably will survive in the end. But yeah, I agree. Ariana Grande.
Like I think Grande was assuming Grande wins SAG. I think Grande was going to win SAG regardless of the Carlos Sofia Gascon thing.
Yeah, same.
I don't think she's gonna win. I feel like if it's 160,000 actors, they're gonna vote for someone who just like broke into acting rather than someone who has like spent their entire career acting. I don't know. I feel like Saldana still got.
I don't know. I just think
it'll be interesting to see who ends up winning.
Yeah. Like supporting actor should just be Kieran. I would love if we got like a shock Yura Borisov or something. That would be really fun. I don't think I could see that. I could see something like that happening at BAFTA, to be honest.
If that happens at BAFTA, I'd predict it at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Because Real Pain's not in Best Picture. And that just shows Anora's strength. And usually if films win Best Picture, they sometimes get a surprise win in other categories. So I feel like he could go along.
I just think Kieran is too clear a winner. And he's going to win SAG.
Probably. But like, remember like, Ke Huy Quan even dropping to like Barry Keoghan? Like what happens? What happens if Imagine Banshees of Inisherin is the Best Picture winner? And Everything Ever All at Once and Ke Huy Quan was in a film that wasn't nominated for Best Picture, right? Like, what happens then? If Barry Keoghan is the Best Picture winner, Ke Huy Quan's in a film not nominated, are you sticking with the narrative or do you go with Barry Keoghan to win there? I think, I don't know. I don't know. I think that if we see a Yura Borisov surprise here,
because BAFTA is during Oscar, and SAG is not.
Yeah.
So that will have more.
I don't think supporting actors over. I'm not gonna be bold enough to predict a Yura Borisov win there, but it would make sense for a group like BAFTA to do that.
Potentially.
I still think it's Kieran.
I do too. I'm just saying that I don't think it's over.
And Best Actor, I really don't know.
To be honest, I'm scared the Broodless is going to go home completely empty-handed.
I've been thinking about it too.
Or
I think Score might go to Conclave.
Gross.
Because it's not been winning Score. Challenges has been.
Not been. Yeah.
So we don't actually really know the Brutalist.
Yeah, and cinematography, like the Critics' Choice gave it to Nosferatu.
Yeah.
We'll see what ASC does.
Losing industry support. I thought it overperformed slightly at the Oscar noms themselves. Getting editing. Jones, I didn't think would happen. Getting editing, but it has been on a path downwards, it seems. And so, yeah, would it make sense for the Brutus to be this heavily nominated film, monumental scope, whatever, and then go home empty-handed? Yeah,
Irishman.
Irishman.
It sucks.
Be awful because that is like for me like second best movie of the year. And it would be really annoying to see it come away with nothing. But as of now, we're predicting it for what? Cinematography and for score. Because I think Chalamet's winning.
I really can't read it with Chalamet.
It depends on.
I think it depends on that, but like I think Chalamet's obviously winning SAG is the thing.
Yeah, but that's not Oscar voting, so that won't have any.
And I will say, I hate to be mean, but Adrian Brody's speeches have been rough.
Yeah. They have been rough.
But also, I can't imagine Timothée Chalamet giving like a really charismatic speech. So
right.
So I can't say anything. The only one whose speeches have been really consistently great is Demi Moore. But yeah.
I don't know. I think I just feel like the tides have kind of turned against Brody, and I think that the Complete Unknown surge happened and is happening still at the right point for Chalamet. I think Chalamet has been campaigning his fucking ass off, and Brody really hasn't done all that much. I mean, Chalamet's Hollywood Starboy right now. And he did the Beatty biopic musical thing. He sang. He became Bob Dylan.
Yeah, he is the film. He is the film in a way. Adrian Brody,
and the fact that
necessarily
you come away from Birdlist obviously thinking Brody's incredible, but you come away thinking about like the scope and the vision in Corbet, right? If Complete Unknown is surging as much as it is, like all of that is Chalamet. So I really
signs that the tides have turned against Brody right now because he's won everything he could. So I'm not sure like where.
But that's non-industry. But that's non-industry.
Tides against the film in general.
Yeah, but even in the industry, not like it overperformed at Oscar nomination. So did A Complete Unknown. But I just feel like Brody's performance is more of what. Timothy's performance is not a standard.
That's my logic too, because you watch if you watch both movies and you tell me that you're voting for Timothée Chalamet, I'm a little confused, honestly.
Yeah.
Adrien Brody's performance, he's putting in so much more emotional work. It's a much more complex, larger than life hero's journey.
I mean, you don't have to convince me. He's my personal winner.
Yeah, like, no, same. But it would just feel weird because usually when there's a narrative and there's a tide switch, it goes to the more emotional performance who resonates more with audiences. But the movie is called.
Do you think the AI thing? Do you think the AI thing could hurt him?
No, I think most people in the industry understand that AI is being used for everything, and that was a tiny little thing.
I hope so. I hope so. I don't. I'm just.
It would be so weird.
I'm concerned.
It
would be weird, but I'm just a bit worried. Like I am predicting him to win the SAG, and then we'll see what happens from there. But like BAFTA fucking loved The Complete Unknown.
I know.
Yeah, it's a showy, concerning way. It's a performance in the same vein as like Will Smith when he won. It's a big star in a big movie giving a.
I don't think that show.
Yeah, but Will Smith had so much more of a narrative, and also his performance makes you cry. Timothée Chalamet's performance does not, whereas Brody does more. So it's always best actor usually.
Assuming I can say on Brutalist though, assuming Chalamet wins, let's just assume that for a second. Is it going to win anything else? Because I'm concerned that score is going to go to Conclave, and we're going to see a repeat where Volker Boulderman like steals it from the best score of the year for another.
Maybe they'll give cinematography to Brutalist still, because Nosferatu winning would be too weird.
Yeah, but what if they just do Dune again?
Who was the
last?
They
didn't like Dune. They didn't like Dune.
They didn't like Dune.
Who was the last best actor winner who was the sole win for their film? Casey Affleck.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I think the Brutalist has a better shot of winning something else than A Complete Unknown does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, there is a lot of valid logic that would favor Adrien Brody. I was coming in thinking Chalamet, but
I think you.
I hope you guys are right. I'm just preparing myself because I'm concerned.
That's fair.
Because again, for me, Brody is like the performance of the year. Period, end of sentence.
He's so good.
And Chalamet winning would be incredibly frustrating. And listen, I like Timmy, but like
he's so much better than Call Me by Your Name. He is so much better.
Oh yeah.
In Bones and all. It's my favorite.
Yeah, that too.
Where do you guys stand on screenplay? Because even though The Substance won Critics' Choice, and I think it will win BAFTA, I think Anora still will win original screenplay, a la Birdman beating the Grand Budapest Hotel, which breaks my heart, but that's what happens.
I think we have a fairly solid pair. Conclave has not missed a beat in screenplay, and Anora, if it's winning Best Picture, for it to go to a world where we think Anora is going to be a lone screenplay winner, to then transition to it's director and picture. That seems too far in my mind. I think the screenplay is.
I think Substance, American Fiction, the first place it won last year was Critics' Choice, then it won BAFTA, and Oppenheimer already had picture and director. So I think it's possible, but I don't think it will happen.
Anora just feels like more of a screenwriting. Like I feel like Oppenheimer, the obvious thing to reward was the direction. For Anora, at least for me, the obvious thing to reward feels like the screenplay.
Yeah. I just think The Substance is the most original of all.
Yeah, it's the high concept thing that they like.
Sure,
but I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I agree. I could see it.
I wonder if The Substance can win original. Oh my god, if it did, I'd fucking scream. That'd be incredible. But
didn't get
out Anatomy of the Fall. I don't think it's impossible, but I don't know if Anora's gonna be the strong. And Substance wasn't nominated at WGA, right? Because
it wasn't eligible. No.
Right. Because I was gonna say, so we won't know from that. So it'll really just be BAFTA. Because Anora hasn't won a screenplay award yet. So if it doesn't win at BAFTA, then maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be fascinating. But yeah. Well, that's gotten us up to about an hour. Did anybody else have any? We got to award our participation trophy.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. Who's had a big week?
Who has had a big week? I mean, should we give it to Sean Baker? Is Sean Baker our?
Yeah.
I think Sean Baker is our Woody. Him or we didn't even talk about the Super Bowl. We didn't even talk about the Super Bowl.
That's
you know what? I am going to touch on this briefly. The Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, I'm a very, very big Kendrick Lamar fan, of course, but I thought it was fucking incredible. I think everything, like, it is one of the most like well lit and best looking Super Bowl performances in a while. And everything that he did, talking about, I mean, he brought up, like, you know, the revolution's about to be televised. You got the right time, but the wrong guy. It's, you know, it's the first Super Bowl performance, and I don't know how long that's going to have think pieces written about it for weeks. It's very, very politically motivated. I mean, the man quite literally had a bunch of people dressed in red, white, and blue to make up the American flag, and then had them fall onto the floor in swastikas. Like, you know, he was making bold political commentary, and I think it's honestly, like, the Drake thing was fun. Him looking directly into the camera and saying, "Hey Drake, I hear you like them young," and then smirking, was fucking hilarious to do on the biggest concert, like, in the world. But I think also, like, you know, the whole Samuel L. Jackson thing, framing this narrative around what the culture is supposed to accept from, you know, Black artists and music and everything, like, it was brilliant as a show. Like, it was genuinely genius. I expected nothing less from Kendrick. I think he's at his best working at, like, very high concept stuff. And this was no less. Like, it's just, he managed to pull off this, like, high concept, you know, very thought-provoking Super Bowl halftime show. So yeah, I loved it. And if you haven't seen it, watch it. It was fantastic. It is one of the best performances just in general I've seen. I mean, and I don't know how long.
To do it right in front of Trump too. Awesome. Yeah,
for sure. So I don't know. Let's give it. We'll give it to Sean Baker at a later week. He'll.
I don't think. Okay. We can give Kendrick another award. Do we need to give Kendrick an award? I don't know.
He deserves it.
Do we need to give either of them another award?
Do we need to give either of them? Yes.
Fair.
I don't know. Him, yeah. I'm giving
Kendrick has a movie later this year.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. I don't know. I vote Kendrick Lamar.
Sure.
Of the two, I'd say Kendrick.
I vote Kendrick. All right. Well, that is it. Kendrick Lamar and Carlos Sofia going.
We've awarded big hater weeks in a row.
Yeah, two big haters. It was a great Super Bowl for haters. Fucking hate the Chiefs. They lost. Hate Drake. He lost. It was a good night. It was a good night for the haters. Also, Serena Williams, crip walking. Fantastic.
Yes.
So that has been the participation trophy. We'll be back next week, hopefully with the all five of us. And plenty more to talk about with film, awards, you know, pop culture, whatever. So until next time, this has been myself, Trevor, Thomas, Jack, and Sam. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.